So in this lesson we'll talk a little bit more about lighting, and we're going to adjust our main light. So if you look at this image, is what we're trying to create, and the background is from Vietnam, it's from Sapa Valley, and you can see it's a bit hazy. It's a bit of a hazy day. It's not direct sunshine, it's not like harsh shadows, so it's got quite soft shadows. It's difficult to see it here, but you can see it in the render here. And the reason we're doing that, we want it to look nice and soft and pretty. So we're going to have the key light coming from this side here, because I want to define these as the sort of main area you're looking at, because it's brighter. And if you wanted to, you can change this around and move it to whatever you want to. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create an area light for the main light, which we've already created, but we're going to just adjust that. And then what we'll do is the fill light will be from the sky, and we're going to create a sky dome light in order to create the fill light. Okay, so let's just adjust our main light for the first bit. So this is our light here, and you can see it's coming down from the top, and this is what it looks like here. This is what we had, and so you can see the shadows are pretty soft here, but what I'm going to do is just come round a little bit to the side. And this doesn't have to be the final lighting, you can adjust it a bit more later, and I would encourage you to do that and experiment. But I just wanted to point out that if we, for example, select this, go to panel, look through selected, this is how I generally move my lights around. So I kind of just use my regular viewing controls to just come around and then just have a look. Okay, so if I move to the front of this, where the camera is roughly, that's a bit further around here, you can see that's a pretty boring render, because the light is coming straight out of the camera. You can't see any shadows, and you can barely see any shadows, excuse me, and it's not very interesting. Okay, so the more you come around to the side of these things, so the more we come around to the side, we're going to define the shape of these a bit better, and you can see that they're rounded because we've got that rounded shape there. Okay, so we're going to come to the side, and let's just have a look at taking this back a bit. Maybe a little bit further higher. Okay, and I might just adjust the intensity a bit later and balance this out, but this is what we're going to have so far. So for example, I might bring this down a little bit, and when we create our fill light, that should become a little bit brighter anyway. Okay, so if you want to, you can scale your light up or scale it down. I'm just going to go back to my perspective here. So there's my light here. There's a bit of a bug here where you've got two lights here. This is exactly the same one, but it should go away if we maybe change views or something. So it looks like it's a bit of a bug. It looks like I've got two area lights here by looking through it. So I'm just going to delete the first one, which is the first one I created, and I've got the original one here. So let's just increase the intensity there. So that happened because I looked through it, and that's what I normally do, but in this case it's duplicated it for some reason. So you can adjust the position of this now, and let's just maybe move it up a bit. And let's see where we are here. Maybe move it behind a little bit so we get a few more shadows around here. And increase the intensity, just got exposure set to 1. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that for now. So I've got it in this position here. My scale is on 11, so I've got pretty soft shadows, as you can see here, and my intensity is on 7,000 and my exposure is on 1 there. Okay, so this is the sort of result I'm getting. So I'd encourage you to experiment with different positions for your light and get the sort of shading that you want. So in this lesson we had a look at some lighting tips, and we set up our main light, our key light.